Welcome back. It's Tom again. If you viewed the welcome and introduction video, you've learned already how to find my YouTube channel. Once you go on, just search for either Tom Kubistant or Dr. Tom Kubistant, and it'll pop up of that. Once you start seeing that, there'll be a little tab that says subscribe, and click that and log in through the subscription, and you should be notified with new entries of it. Don't trust that though. All of this new YouTube channel approach is new to me as well, and probably I'm making some mistakes on that. What I will do on our frequent weekday emails to you is that I will cut and paste the link on future emails, future videos on the email. I wanted to spend just a couple minutes in this session going through the syllabus. I have attached the syllabus to each one of you in our introduction early on in this week, so that hopefully you have an electronic copy of that, or have downloaded a hard copy of it. I just wanted to go through that right now very quickly so you know how to reach me. You saw on there that my not only my email address, which you have already, but on that is the 775-301-6161 phone number. That is my home phone number here. When you call up, I probably won't answer. Just leave a voicemail of when I can reach you, and give me a very specific time, and I will make sure I return your message at that time. If you are in Northern Nevada, and some of you are not, I know, and you want to meet with me personally, I can meet with you on campus if you are on campus on doing other things. I'm always at the north end of campus in the Reynolds building. That's where I teach my person-to-person courses. I'm there on Wednesday afternoons teaching my business speech communications course and my business writing course. So if you contact me, we can set up an appointment during Wednesday mornings or any other time that you might be on campus. I'm here forever, whatever you need from me. My goals for this course, as you saw, and I just wanted to hit this because this is not much of a theory course as it is a practical application course. We're going to talk about the current practical effectiveness of small group communications, whether it's in businesses, whether it's in a community organization, a nonprofit organization, a religious group, a charitable foundation, a sports teams. And we're going to be talking about what works in here with very, very little theory. There'll be just enough theory so you have the perspective and the framework of what the practices will be. My goals are to explore the major practical perspectives and skills in small group communications. What works? I'm going to talk about how to master the key individual modalities: in-person, electronic, and video used in small groups communication. We're going to talk about how to develop not so much the critical thinking, but the creative thinking in small groups communication. Not only before COVID, but certainly after COVID, that how we communicate in organizations has taken a quantum leap. And part of that is having the flexibility in thinking so that you have the flexibility in your communicating. We're going to understand that organizations have different developmental phases, and depending on which phase it is in, there are different communication emphases in terms of planning, decision-making, conflict resolution. And we'll talk about those. We'll also talk about the different forms of decision-making in different phases of the organization. We're a much more complex society where diversity and inclusion are parts of our daily operations. This extends to our communications in small groups. So we're going to talk about diversity in terms of by sex, sexual orientation, by age, by cultural background, by race, by our backgrounds, as well as in a work situation, our skills levels. I want to make sure that what you cover in here, in this course during these 8 weeks, sets the foundation for the other courses you'll be taking in the rotation for the bachelor's program here in organization and project management. My indirect goal is to help you in your professionalism, that you come across as more calm, more confident, more integrated, more professional. You can achieve that through improved communication skills. As you found out, there's no textbook. Things change so quickly. By the time a book is published, it's outdated by 3 years already. So, as such, as a replacement, I'll be recording these short, under 15-minute lecturettes 2, 3, 4 times a week, and they'll be posted on the YouTube channel. Here's some of the major topics also we're going to be covering. We're going to be talking about the 3 organization decision-making styles. We're going to talk about embracing and respecting diversity, understanding workers' personal needs, burnout, and the notions of cross-training in organizations. We're going to talk about the scope of organization communications, the basic modalities from verbal communication to nonverbal communication to vocal communication to written communication to electronic communication, and all of the combinations of those modalities and what modality will work best in which situations. We're going to talk about teamwork, and I'll have a future writing reflections on teamwork. We're going to talk about team identity, morale, how to improve morale, the 3 steps of improving morale. We're going to talk about in organizations where you become some kind of manager or leader, become a supervisor. We're going to talk about what's proven communication skills in supervision, from looking at how to run effective meetings to the system of delegation. Every time you delegate a project to a person or a sub-team, you have to follow the same 3.5 steps. And I'll share with you those 3.5 steps. How to handle difficult employees, how to conduct performance reviews. In that last one, that there are key micro counseling skills to learn in conducting effective interviews, whether it's a hiring interview, a disciplinary interview, a performance review, any kind of formal interview. There are 5 skills to master so that the interview can unfold in a nice rhythmical way. You'll learn those 5 skills. Later on in the semester, you'll learn about your own career development more. Yes, you're going for your bachelor's degree here, and hopefully it'll be well earned for you. And that shouldn't be an ending point in your viewing your career. That should be a springboard to viewing your careers. Okay, those are the major topics we're covering. Beyond you learning things, of course, you're all in it for a grade. That's why I asked you when you confirmed my initial email to email back your code name or code word or code number, so that we don't break any FERPA regulations when you email me and say, what grade did you earn on the last reflections? I can tell you that because I know it's you. Understand this, there are a total of 1,000 points available for this course. It's breaking up into 3 areas, as you saw on the syllabus: the reflection essays, a midterm essay examination during Thanksgiving week, and an ending term paper, which is a case study in organizational communication. Let me go through each one of those. Before I do, 2 things to remember. Number 1, as you view this, everybody who's viewing this has the grade of an A right now. Congratulations. It is up to you to make sure you keep on doing the things to earn your A. I am under no pretense of only giving 12.5% of you A's and 37.5% of you B's. No, I've had courses here at Western Nevada College that everybody earned an A or an A minus. I've had other courses that no one did, and they would be the first to admit that was their own performance on that. Second with this is that if you do all the work and do all the work on time, you'll do just fine for the grade. Okay? Let's look at the reflection essays. I will be emailing you twice a week, usually on a Sunday night and a Wednesday night or so, or Thursday night, of two different essays. I want you to electronically write at least 250 words. 250 words is about a printed page. And I'm looking at for a good, well thought out, well edited essay on these. You saw the first one I want for that, which is due Wednesday night of this week by 11:59 p.m. Western time for our students that are in Hawaii. 11:59 Western time. Okay, two of those per week. I'm looking for in the essays your reactions to the content, maybe sharing examples that you observed of good practices of that or bad practices of that. It's from your daily lives. Maybe how you can apply it in the group you're in or the work you're in. How you can apply the information also into your personal lives as well. Later on in the semesters with the later ones, you can also intertwine how what you're doing in a later one fits in with what is done at the beginning of this semester. I want nicely edited written responses to that sent in to me electronically. I will take off points for poor spelling, poor punctuation, and poor grammar. Okay? This is college. Each one of the 12 essays you will be writing for me, 2 a week for the 6 weeks, is 40 points apiece maximum for a total of 480 points. That's almost half of your grade. Secondly, during probably the Monday of Thanksgiving week, I will email you an essay examination, and there'll be, depending on what we cover at that point, there'll be 3 to 4 essay questions, and you will have 24 hours, 24 hours exactly when I send out the email of you to answer those questions. Each one of those questions will have different point weights to them. There's a total of 220 points there. There may be a question that's worth 120 points and another one's worth 80 points and the other one's worth 20 points. So we'll talk about strategies and tactics for taking my essay examinations as we come closer to that. That will be electronically done within 24 hours and sent back to me within 24 hours. The final big paper is a case study of the organization of communication analysis. This is at least a 10-page minimum of space and a half at 14-point font, up to 12 pages of that. You saw the major areas in the syllabus that I want. An organization that you have worked for or been a part of for a long time and have a good idea of the inner workings. I want you to comment on these headers, the description of the organization, its type or complexity. I want you to talk about the description of which phase of the 4 phases is it in the organization and how those practices are in touch with the phase or out of touch with the phase. I want you to talk about the different flows of communication, in-person, written, electronic communication, and how the organization uses or misuses different modalities of communication. We're going to talk about different types of communication patterns, a description of the meetings, how they're run, how can they be run more effectively. We're going to talk about the typical management or supervisory communication. What works, what doesn't, what is effective, what doesn't, what's outdated, and what's outmoded. I want you to also talk about how conflicts are resolved within the organization, the informal conflicts as well as the formal conflicts. What efforts have been done, verbally or electronically, directly or indirectly, to build and foster and improve teams. And then it's up to you to look at any other communication themes. And if you were an outside consultant, what recommendations would you give to that organization to improve their communication? You can tell by all of those topics, 10 pages is easy to do. So make sure you edit those, give me tagged information up to 12 pages. I know from organizations that I've been involved with, I can write 30, 40 pages easily on those content areas. Again, there's 1,000 points total for each one of these. Understand this. There are no makeups for missed assignments. When something is due, something is due. This is real world. Next, since this is only an 8-week course and you're going on to your next 2 courses after this, I don't give incompletes for the course. Next, if you have to withdraw from the course, you have to do so by the 12th of November. If you don't and stop attending by WNC regulations, the professor can only give you a grade of F. So if you withdraw before the 12th. If you have any special circumstances or learning needs, please contact me privately, individually, and contact Miss Susan Trist, our Disability Support Services Coordinator, and we will accommodate you. As you can tell, I'm still recovering from COVID, so based on circumstances, life changes, and then it changes again. This syllabus is subject for modification. That is a lot. Hopefully, you have your own copy, electronic or hard copy of the syllabus, so you can reflect on that. If you have any specific questions on this, please email me and I'll be happy to respond, usually within 2 days. This time of the semester, with 31 people in this course and doing a lot, I'm going to be very busy, and I'm also busy with my 2 in-person courses this time of the semester. Okay, if you have any questions, give me some kind of contact with me via some kind of communication modality, and we will work it out. Again, thanks for coming. We're going to do great things in this course.